Sanbonani, Southern Africa, Sanbonani, Far Eastern Catholic News. This is Kati Tijane, and I'm very humbled and excited to be crossing in the Diocese of Kimberley. As per tradition, when the Far Eastern Catholic News visits a particular diocese, we have the opportunity to introduce or get introduced to the local ordinary of that particular diocese. In this case, Bishop Duncan Zoke asked to rather me interview some of the priests and some of the people here in the diocese, and so we are happy to hit the call for us to have a conversation to get to know the priests in charge of, or working rather alongside with the bishop himself. Bishop Duncan Zoke is also a local ordinary who was appointed and installed in 2021, and we are just excited that a couple of years later, we just wanted to get a glimpse into how his leadership has been and how he has helped shape this Diocese of Kimberley. We all know that it started as a vicariate in 1886, and then on January 11th, 1951, we were celebrating the church being elevated to a diocese instead of a vicariate. So yes, we are celebrating 75 years of the establishment of the hierarchy of the church. We saw His Eminence Cardinal Stephen Brislin, who is the current incumbent president of the SACBC, that is the Southern African Catholic Bishops Conference. We saw him blessing the plug at the Bishops Conference at Kanya House in Pretoria recently when they were taking part of the plenary. So it's very exciting that yes, we are part of this diocese, interviewing them. We are fresh from a night vigil. I hope you have recovered, Father. Father is Father Sipho Moatlhodi. Sorry about that. Father Sipho Moatlhodi. And yes, so he was the MC of the night vigil that we had. I hope he has recovered and well rested. And it was such a great celebration indeed. We were a part of it, covering it. Thank you so much for watching that, if you were a part of that virtually, if you were not here in the diocese. So Father, thank you so much for joining us. We just wanted to give a brief context and background to the diocese and just to celebrate the diocese itself. So thank you for this conversation. I would like for you to please introduce yourself to our audience. We met in Francistown Diocese when we were seeing and witnessing the Episcopal ordination of Bishop Lawrence Peto, but here we just wanted to get to know some of the priests, as I mentioned, of the Diocese of Kimberley. Father, can you please introduce yourself to our audience? Share with us which parish and which deanery you are working in, and share with us the experience of working in this Diocese of Kimberley.
Yes, thank you very much, Kati, for this opportunity. As you have already mentioned, that I'm Father Sipho Moatlhodi, a diocesan priest in the Diocese of Kimberley. I'm currently working I'm actually newly appointed the priest in charge of Mante Molelema Pastoral District in Taung, and I'm also the dean there in Taung. Yes, so I've been a priest now this year for 19 years, a priest in this Diocese of Kimberley.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much for an introduction. 19 years, you wouldn't say. You look 20. No, I'm kidding, Father. With that said, so I mean, as I mentioned, it's just a dream for us to build bridges and just to help us to get to know one another in the Episcopal Conference in Southern Africa. So, but before we just get to know about the Kimberley Diocese, we'd like to also get to know more about you. Share with us your vocation journey. How did you know that God was calling you to being a priest? And when you heeded that call, share with us some of the reaction from your family and friends in terms of their support, or maybe did they counter your calling? So share with us that experience. And I'm asking this in the context of the young person watching this interview, for us to know the different ways in which God can call us.
Yes, thank you very much, Kati. Yeah, I felt my calling at a very tender age, I think before I even went to school, because it has always been my way of life, at a very tender age. Even when we are playing, some will say, as children, some will say, I want to be a father of the house, others a mother of the house, and I say, I want to be a priest. You see, now I'll be playing that role, at a very tender age. And then I completed my matric in 1998, and then I began the seminary journey. I was assisted by the late Father Hannes Shepherd, who was an oblate, because mainly in this Diocese of Kimberley there were oblates who came from Germany and also some from Belgium who were really working hard. So we saw their work, what they did and how they built churches here in this Diocese of Kimberley. And they were also organizing, Father Hannes Shepherd, the late Father Hannes Shepherd was organizing vocations workshops. And then really explaining there the difference between the diocesan and the religious and then all that. So we were very much interested in becoming priests. And then we were also altar servers, very active altar servers, and would love the church, will take care of the church, and then we'll spend most of the time of our free time in the church. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Father. As you mentioned that the Oblates of Mary Immaculate were the ones here from Germany and Belgium. So a lot of times when people are inspired, either by certain priests or whoever, usually it would be missionary priests, and it's very exciting that the church is growing. We are seeing a number of diocesan priests growing. But from your own personal capacity, why did you choose to be a diocesan instead of being a missionary?
Yes, thank you, Katia. You see now, because it was in these workshops that things were being clarified to us, and also the former bishop of this diocese, may he so rest in peace, Bishop Erwin Hecht, he also wanted to establish the local church here to say, let's have priests, diocesan priests, because missionaries are here, but tomorrow they won't be here. So for us, for the church to really be rooted, we need locally born priests who are incorporated in this diocese as diocesan priests to serve the diocese, all their lives.
So I also would like to know, in terms of now the Diocese of Kimberley, for those who are not from this diocese, share with us some of the highlights, the challenges that you are facing as a diocese. What can we know more about this Diocese of Kimberley? And also with the incoming bishop, it's now been years, since 2021. But share with us, because sometimes it's so easy to compare the different bishops and the different priests. We also do it sometimes as lay people. We used to have the certain parish priest, now this one is acting differently. So share with us, how is life? How is the church? How is it growing? Is it growing at all? Are you happy with the way in which, the church is experiencing life that it is experiencing in this diocese? And then we'll get to our bishop later on in the interview.
Thank you, Kat. Yes. When Bishop Hecht was about to retire, he really prepared the people to say, look, the missionaries are no longer here, so you people of God in the Diocese of Kimberley, you have to be on your own, you have to be self-supporting. And then, so that is why also the emphasis on the annual diocesan collection, that we have to support the local ordinary here or to run the diocese. So when Bishop Abel Gabuza came, may he so rest in peace, he also emphasized that. I think now the people then started to realize that no, white missionaries from Europe are no longer here. We are on our own, and then people started to feel the pinch a bit to say, look, we have to contribute generously in terms of our pledges, dues, and also the Sunday collections, and also so to fundraise. for our own parishes, and also to support the local ordinary through the annual diocesan collection. Yeah, but people are aware, people know this now, and then now, but people are coming up now. So I think even though there are some challenges here and there are still those who are hoping that missionaries would come back, to support us here locally. But as it stands now, we are on our own, but we are trying to survive.
Most definitely. And yes, I mean, if we are going to be celebrating the establishment of the hierarchy of the church and seeing the growth of a lot of our bishops are even like also diocesans, like Bishop Duncan Toke is a diocesan. We have seen also in Francistown, Bishop Peto is a diocesan. So we are seeing that the church is growing. However, financially, it's something that we also need to try and help as much as we can. Now, Father, with that said, I also wanted to ask in terms of the synod and synodality and how you are embracing it as a diocese. Do you think it's something that people are aware, or is it something that feels like a far-fetched dream? I'm also asking this in the context of how are you joining together with the bishop here in terms of not only as priests but as lay people? How are you helping his job to lead you and shepherd you in the context of synod on synodality?
Yes, thank you, Kat. Yeah, no, the people are aware of the synod on synodality, because since the first phase of the consultation, people took part, even though some didn't, but mainly people took part in those questionnaire, and also people are aware. We talk about this synod on synodality, and now at the moment we have now the synodal team of the diocese, and now we are busy now at the moment to have the synodal team of different deaneries, as we have 5 deaneries in this diocese. We have Kimberley, we have Taung, we have Vryburg Morokweng, we have Mahikeng, and then also Kuruman. So we are busy now to establish the synodal teams of these different deaneries. But things are, I would say, in a range of 1 to 10, a scale of 1 to 10, I think we are at 6. So at least we are coming all right.
Okay, it's quite windy, so please don't mind the background. Also, Father, I think we are going to wrap up this interview. Thank you so much for introducing yourself, representing the Diocese of Kimberley, in us getting to know you. I would like for you now, I mean, young people in the diocese, share with us how you are accompanying them, how you are joining with them. And also next year, 2027, there is a World Youth Day pilgrimage. Can you share with us how young people maybe can start maybe preparing, even if it's not financially or even going there physically? How can they just be a part and parcel of this global initiative that was started by Pope Francis that was started by Saint John Paul II. So can you share with us how is the youth in this diocese being accompanied, and can you also just give us a message of hope as young people in the context of the theme Take Courage, I Have Overcome the World, as you can see at the back of my t-shirt. So share with us in the context of young people.
Yes, thank you, Kati. We can't deny the fact that young people are faced with many challenges. Yeah, and what they need is hope. Hope in the Lord, hope in the church, and hope from us who are leaders. That we talk to young people. We have meetings with them, and then we also try to show them the other side of their challenges and difficulties and problems that they are having, because we can see the reality now in our country, how young people immerse themselves in alcohol abuse and in drugs and in all these things. But we can never lose hope. We can never give up on our young people. We are encouraging them And then bit by bit we see them they are also coming back to church, and also we are trying to involve them in our church's celebrations, so that at least they feel part of the church's celebration. Especially our bishop is very passionate about young people, and he always encourages us to involve young people also in the church structures of PPC and the PFC, so that at least they also feel that they are part of the church, that they are not left out, but that they are part of the church. The now, not only the future, but also the now, of the church. So we are encouraging them. Of course, we have the financial situation whereby some wish to go and attend this World Youth Day, but now on account of financial situations they can't. But we are with them. We are journeying with them. So we'll never leave them to be on their own. So my message to young people is that never give up, trust in the Lord, because God is always with you. Thank you, Kati.
Thank you so much, Father. It was such a great conversation we had, and as the crest of our bishop here, it says, "Feed my sheep."
Yes, feed my sheep, yeah.
Feed my sheep. We are well fed with a message of hope, and thank you so much for giving us a glimpse into this diocese. So God bless you, and when you celebrate 20 years, invite us so we can come and eat cows and...
Yeah, sure, yeah. No, thank you very much, Kati. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah. God bless and take care, Father.
Thank you.
Thank you.